Hello, friends on the internet and radio and carrier pigeon, or however you are watching and listening to this. Today we will be working on section 7-10, the horn brace. This thing is a giant pain. Well, actually, it's probably not a giant pain once you know what you're doing. But I quite obviously don't know what I'm doing. This is the first time I'm doing this. So what I'm trying to do, and this is a perfect example of any idiot can build a RV-14. Look at me trying to remove this rivet. I pretty clearly have no idea what I'm doing here. But, you know, it's a learning experience to try to build this. You read the directions, maybe you watch some other person online try to do it themselves, or maybe someone more knowledgeable try to do it themselves, and then you learn from their mistakes. So that's what I'm trying to do here. Even though it's slightly embarrassing, I'm putting this up so the RV-14 builders that come after me can hopefully have an easier time. I probably have enough footage of me trying to get this horn on to make like 18 more videos, but we'll see. I'm not going to make you suffer through 18 more videos of this. Just know that don't be me. Eventually I got this thing right, or pretty close to right. I looked at it a couple days ago and it looked okay to me. I'll probably have someone that knows what they're doing inspect it and just confirm that everything's good. I did think I ended up oversizing one of those holes when I drilled out a rivet. But so I upsized it and used a larger rivet, which is okay, but not something you really want to do. So yeah, don't do this. Don't rivet and then why am I cutting the head off of it? That is not correct. So don't be me. So in other news, I started seriously considering getting a Tesla. Now I have never driven a Tesla, but I did get a ride in a coworker's Tesla a few days ago, and I watched him use autopilot, and it seemed pretty awesome. So I started looking at Teslas. Now the problem is there's too many cars at my house. So you can see the van there. Outside there's a truck and a Camry. And every time, I promised myself that every time I paid off a car, I would never get rid of it. Because I did that one time, I had a 4Runner, I paid it off, and I thought, you know what, it might be nice to get a van for the wife and kids, and we only had that van for maybe 2 years. And gosh darn it, I could have just kept that 4Runner and run over all kinds of rocks and curbs and whatever. So I promised myself I would never get rid of a paid off car ever again. But the problem is, do you really need like 18 cars? No, you do not need 18 cars. Now you might remember back to the previous conversation where we said, do you need a house? Well, a house is nice, right? But yeah, you don't need 18 cars. So, and you definitely don't need a Tesla. But having a car that could drive itself is kind of like having a plane that has autopilot. It's a game changer. So I've been considering it, and I've looked at the Model 3, and I've looked at the Model Y, and I've looked at the Cybertruck, which isn't going to be available for a while. And what I decided to do was I'm going to just rent a Tesla and drive it for a week and myself and see if it changes the game or not. So next week or the week after, whenever, we'll see how things go, and I'll report back. So back to building. As you can see, I've spent about an hour or two already trying to get this horn brace installed. So just be ready for that when you get to whatever section this is. Section 7-10. I also think one of the things I tried to do here was try to buck this rivet, which obviously was never going to work. One of the useful tools here is a different C yoke on the pneumatic squeezer. So they make a squeezer that has a, I'm not going to be able to describe it, but there's an arm on it that can extend into a hole. So try different yokes. They're interchangeable. You just unscrew them, and so look at all your options. Look what kind of holes you need to go through when you choose which pneumatic squeezer yoke you're going to use if you're using a pneumatic squeezer. Okay, have a good rest of the week, everybody. See you next time.